Hello everyone. I want to talk to you about the 4th December new moon and total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. December dawns with two awakening eclipses. Those are lunar events that create radical change and also open your eyes to be bold and to new possibilities. And this month, the planets are starting to ask you to quiet your mind, to come into truthful communication with self and with others, and consider change at all levels. This Sagittarius new moon, yes, is a total solar eclipse. So there's also a difficult aspect to Uranus that suggests that the spiritual meaning of this new moon is adjusting to change and being open and flexible. For a brief period during the eclipse, the sun will be blocked out by the soulful moon. And this lights out moment forces us to see with other senses beside our vision. We can turn inward or have an epiphany about how to redesign our support system, for example. It will be, this solar eclipse will be more intense than usual, and this is because its effect can be for 6 months and can take to 6 months to manifest totally. It's the energy of your intentions that will quickly manifest. And this eclipse can be a little bit uprooting. It can move you out of your comfort zone, but just remember that it's always for your highest good. We just sweep away from things that no longer serve us, despite how hard we are clinging to them. We are just in the tail wind of the 19 November Taurus lunar eclipse, and we're heading into a final Sagittarius solar eclipse. So we can ask ourselves, how can we ride this powerful wave of this week total solar eclipse and transform all our energies that are stagnant into fresh energies, into magnetic inspiration? And the eclipse and the new moon in Sagittarius will help you to review life from a philosophical perspective, from a higher perspective. There's a lot. We have been tested a lot on our emotional resilience and our empathy during these last weeks, especially. However, Sagittarius is the eternal seeker. He is the student of the zodiac. So this new moon is asking, what are you meant to learn from this? In what ways can I grow? And these are lessons that are still to apply. It's Sagittarius is also the zodiac global explorer. So this new moon will broaden our horizons, and ironically, while restrictions have drastically affected our ability to travel, humans are sharing unified experiences, and they are discovering new connections and new ways to communicate. So Sagittarius is also the equity advocate, and this new moon brings a strong message to not simply diversify, but also to gain a deeper understanding of why it's so important, equity among social justice and social justice. So let's try to make an effort to connect with someone outside our usual circle, and not in a superficial way, because we get to educate ourselves, we get to learn new things. So not only we are in not only we are in a high eclipse season, but we also are about to see a huge change in the nodal axis from Sagittarius through Gemini. Looking back at May 2020, we have been working on this axis, on this Sagittarius Gemini eclipse cycle. And this cycle is coming to an end, is wrapping up. So with this final total solar eclipse, it's interesting to look back at May 2020 and ask yourself, what growth have you achieved since that time? How your life has changed? Because this will be the end of this process that we will achieve. It represents arriving at a new destination. It's a point in our lives where some things or some part of us is fully reborn. It's finally integrated and it's ready to plan an active part in our lives. And that means that all possibilities are on the table. You can put yourself at the forefront and make new plans for your future. The intentions are really important. So let's try to be connected to our higher self, to something that knows what's good for us, to set our intention. It's a good moment to make a fresh start, but getting rid of the old stuff that still bind us, that still doesn't allow us to express what we are in our soul, in our spirit. So we can question old habits, behaviors, beliefs, especially beliefs, and search for new ones, new ways to make a progress. This eclipse is also inspiring us, as it's a Jupiterian energy, to open our minds to a new path, to new patterns, because it's possible that now we can see them, and this can offer us a new insight on faith, on belief systems. It will be an awakening. It will be awakening our awareness, our curiosity, in also our higher mind in communication. So this is a great time to elevate with trust and no apology into a new magnetic you that you know you can be. So let's go ahead. You can be too much. This is Jupiter energy, because when you're fully self-expressed, this is giving you something that just uplift you and make your life joyful and happy. So this is a Sagittarian energy, so it's good also to move your energy. So if you move your energy, you can move your life. Sagittarius is a mutable sign, and that's what we get to do in this important eclipse. Also move your body, move your legs, walk, do things, act with a lot of faith that your intention can really become true. On a collective level, so much has unfolded since May of 2020, last eclipse. It was a grieving experience that forced us to change our way of living. So events were cancelled and holidays were impossible, jobs were lost. And perhaps just now we are starting to see how this chain reaction of events has led us to where we stand today. Because there was a lot of international turmoil, travel restrictions, and this is the eclipse and the energy of communication, of media, of travel, of neighborhoods. And we have spent lots of time in this pandemic focusing on these themes. Now, this eclipse will put a spotlight on global matters, like a pandemic, for example. And it will also deliver like another blow of hope that travel, that is a Sagittarius domain and a Gemini domain, will be open again for the moment. So don't be scared and act boldly with confidence, thinking that life is good and it can be better if we just set our intents and we want our life to be better. This is the energy, of course, at a collective level, but it will reflect on our own personal stories and life too. And we may not start to see a pattern in how we have been guided and where we have been asked the universe to level up in our lives. So eclipses are teachers, are awakening moments. So let's just be more productive to look at what we can do in this collective work that is unfinished. And as the nodes prepare their shift into the Taurus Scorpio axis in January 18, 2022, we got another 6 weeks to do that. And these eclipses, this moment, they represent portals into new state of consciousness. They tend to bring events that shift, that transform our lives, allowing us to step in a new chapter for our soul evolution that is so important. So it's like the last step of this journey we have been traveling since 6 months. It opened like a final door on our path, and it can bring also rewards for hard work we have done. So however we have been asked to grow and change, we will now start to see the end of the journey, the results of all this. There will be a new clarity. And with this clarity, we can open a new chapter, knowing what we get to do. A total solar eclipse is the most powerful eclipse we can experience. This new moon is conjunct Mercury, that rules Gemini, that is the axis of the eclipse. So the focus will be a lot on thinking, communications, short distance travels. It will bring a lot of mental energy, alertness, quick thinking, flexibility, and curiosity. And curiosity is the fuel to find joy. That is a Sagittarian thing. So you can expect to increase your personal interactions with neighbors, siblings, schools, and over the internet, for example. So it will be a busy eclipse phase with lots of appointments, correspondence, social activity, new information to process, decision to make. It's a good eclipse for sharing ideas, for making plans, for meeting new people. From the 19th of December to January 29, Venus will be retrograde in Capricorn. So this will awaken our responsibility and our willpower in relationships. And we can second guess who we want to spend the long term with. And on Christmas Day, Venus will be conjunct in Pluto. So take care in your family holidays. Just try to be open to differences, not too rigid, because it can happen that old family stuff come up for processing. like power struggles, toxic dynamics, or people that, especially in this moment, are projecting a lot of baggage onto each other. So let's just be thoughtful, let's just be wise, and connect to the heart energy to spend a nice Christmas with our family and our friends. A long part of 2021, in the 2021, we have seen 3 very intense square between Saturn, that is the rule maker, and Uranus, that is the rule breaker. So this was a tense configuration, and perhaps it provoked us to break the rules, to be different, to break structures that we were feeling they were oppressing us. But just take care not to throw away the baby with the bathwater, because we need structures to be free sometimes. So it's not all bad. On February and June, we experienced the first 2 square, and now on December 24, we will undergo the 3rd and final Saturn-Uranus square of 2021. So this will ask us again a balance of opposing forces, and this is on Christmas too. So there can be some social unrest, some government control for the sake of society versus personal liberties, for example. Over the past year, this is what we had. So just expect the unexpected, okay? Because there can be some restrictive changes, but we can always be free. So it can bring some change you don't want, or you don't want to face, or that looks harder than the kind of changes you want. So it can be a frustrating and testing time, but if you stay open-minded, patient, flexible, what at first can seem like challenges can be turned into an opportunity to rid yourself of restrictive and limiting things in your life and into yourself. If you want, there will be a meditation, a video of a meditation to work with this kind of energy, this new moon, Sagittarius new moon energy. It will help you to focus, to be clear, to have peace of mind and an open heart. And it will also allow you to set the right intents, because you will be connected with your higher self that knows everything about that. And you will see the best version of what you can be, so that you can become that best version of yourself. Thank you very much for listening, and see you soon.